All right. Let us start. All right. So, hi, welcome everyone. Welcome to les 16 van de Nederlandse Advanced Dutch course van ESN Utrecht. As you may know, last week we treated lesson 17 in your booklet, and now we will treat lesson 15, the one we skipped last week. Again, reason for this being last week, a lot of people couldn't make it through exams or whatever, and this is quite an important lesson, both content-wise and at the end we are going to prepare a thingy, which we'll get to in a bit, for next week. So, let us begin. The topic, het onderwerp van deze week, the topic of this week is politics. We're gonna do. This is not up to date at all, but it doesn't matter. We're gonna first quickly go through an exercise we skipped last week, and then we're going through the homework of last week, and we have het werkwoord van de week as usual. But then, what's the word? Outside of our usual curriculum, instead of diving straight into grammar first, we'll first dive a bit more into some Dutch culture, in this case, the Dutch political system. So we'll give you a little outline of the Dutch political system in case you don't know about it, who are the kind of major players and how it sort of works. Then we will jump into the grammar. We will cover the trappen voor vergelijking, or comparatives and superlatives. So you can compare things, say this is better than this, or this is really the best. Very useful. And then we'll have a break, and this is also not accurate. After the break, we will talk about conjunctions, how to conjoin sentences together, with the goal being that at the end of your class, you can are able to give your opinion about things. Say you like this and justify it. You could say why something is like this. Very useful to do, in line with the topic for once. And then at the end of the class, you'll split into groups and prepare the class of next week, which is lesson 16. It's class 17 and lesson 16 in your booklet, which will be a small debate, the format and topic of which we will get back to you after the thingy, after the break. Hopefully it's interesting. We'll see. It should be fun. And it will be a bit different than what we usually do. So, without further ado, let's start with recapping the homework and exercises. Eva, would you want to do this?
Yeah, sure. I hope you can all hear me.
I can.
Okay, perfect. So last week we actually, Thomas, he taught you about the word er and how it's really difficult word, but it's used a lot in Dutch sentences. And then there was one oefening 2, which we did not have time to go through then, so we want to go through that now. And it's on page 28. Of lesson 17. So yeah, we'll do that now. The first question is, well, you need to check if the sentences are correct and then correct them if they're wrong. And the first one is, wat weet jij van epidemiologie? En B, ik weet niks van. And then I'm just gonna see if maybe Elisa knows what the answer is to this, whether it's correct or not.
So I think it's not correct for the part in B, because it could be ik weet niks.
Yes, really good. Nice one. Perfect, thank you, Elisa. And then the second one is, ik moet nog 4 dagen in quarantaine blijven, maar jij moet er nog maar 2. And then maybe Cheyenne, or Michelle, I don't know, Cheyenne MS Michelle can tell me if this is correct or not.
Yeah, so I think we have a Cheyenne and I'm Michelle. So
Oh,
so I don't know, but I don't know which is which. But my last name is Shen. Yeah. So I think it's wrong, and then it's ik moet nog 4 dagen in quarantine blijven, maar jij moet nog maar 2.
Yes, perfect. Really good. Yeah.
Can I ask a question about the preceding one?
Yeah.
About number 1, so in the second half of the sentence we need to add an er in.
Yes.
But do we make an ervan or no?
Let me see. No, it's just er.
Okay.
But maybe, Thomas, what do you think? Can you also say ik weet niks ervan?
No, not really. It's because of the nix. Indeed, the nix here is the sort of the object. It's an indirect object, and the r goes in front of the object.
Yeah.
Okay.
And therefore, it's not next to the van, and then we would combine it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
If you wanted to say I know about it, then you could say ik weet ervan. That sounds a bit weird, but...
So do we keep the van at the end?
Yes.
So ik weet niks van?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you, Thomas. Then the next one is is er een jarig, hoera, hoera. And maybe, let me see. Rafaela can tell me if this is correct or not.
Well, I will try. I would say that this is correct because I think that this is a song for children, I guess.
Yeah.
But I'm not. If I didn't know that, I would be really confused by this air. Is air eenjarig? So if you could explain a little bit, that would be good.
I can imagine. Oh, really good. It's actually, indeed, it's a song. We sing it on birthdays, not specifically for children. We also do it for adults. I don't know why. But yeah, I can definitely understand that it looks really confusing with 2 of the R's. And I'm hoping Thomas can...
Yeah, indeed. This is a bit of a sneaky question, of course. That second R is like an archaic use of the term. The first one makes sense. So er is eenjarig. That could make sense. Now it doesn't sound right because this is imprinted in me so deeply. But that second R, that it's either like an archaic use of the term or it's just kind of artistic freedom, I guess.
I also feel like if you say er is er eenjarig, you could also say vandaag is er eenjarig. So you can change the first R for like time or something, but the second one it doesn't really translate to anything else. I feel like it doesn't really refer to anything.
No, indeed, it's kind of hard to translate this. This is the first line of Happy Birthday in Dutch.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, the next one. Ben je ooit in Groningen geweest? Nee, ik ben er nog nooit geweest. Maybe Sophie can tell me whether this is correct or not.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct, I think.
Perfect. Nice one. Okay, moving on. Zijn nog vragen er? Iona, maybe you can tell me if this is correct or not.
Sorry, I'm just on the phone right now to someone else from the class. Is it still possible to join the class, or is it closed because you're recording it?
Is there someone who...
It is in the class normally, but she came a bit late.
Oh yeah, of course.
So she's trying to get in. I just wanted to see if you know if it's that she cannot, or...
Oh, no, she should be able to get in.
Okay, then it's a problem on her end.
What is her name?
Ada Feline. Or Ada Feline.
Oh, I don't have
so Ada's not together with you guys.
Yeah, she's normally...
Oh yeah, I guess she is not added to this class. Maybe if you can continue with this, and I will add her, and then you can ask her.
She'll add you, so yeah.
Yeah, that's incorrect. Maybe we can go through this one.
Okay, 6. Oh wait.
Oh, wait.
Which number did you want me to answer? Sorry.
6.
6. Okay. We thought it looks correct. We weren't sure. Maybe it's like Ben Yedar, but
No, you're right. It's
Yeah.
it's correct. It could translate to Ben Yedar or
yeah.
but no, this is perfectly fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Then the next one is
Jana, could you tell me her email?
Yeah, 1 second. Let me ask her what it is. I can put it in the chat if that's easier.
That's way easier, yes.
Thank you. The next one is is niets gebeurd. And maybe Lokai can tell me if that's correct or not.
I think this is correct.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Thank you. Next one. Ik ben helemaal klaar mee. Let me see. Liu, maybe you can tell me if this is correct or not.
I think this is wrong. The correct answer might be ik ben helemaal klaar mee.
Perfect. Yeah, really good. Do you know what it means?
I'm not ready at all.
You don't know what it means?
I mean, I'm not ready. I'm
Oh,
totally
you're
not ready. Is that? Oh, I'm totally ready.
Kinda. It actually translates to like I'm done with it.
Oh,
That's what it means.
Yeah.
okay.
Indeed, klaar means ready and done.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I can see the
makes sense.
confusion, but this is what it means.
Okay.
Okay.
Like
That's
you
also
have
the other way
enough.
around. It happens a lot as well. So a lot of Dutch people, when they want to say I'm done, they say I'm ready.
Yeah.
Like I'm ready with the exercise.
True. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oké, en dan de 9th. Zijn jullie er al aan je huiswerk begonnen? Ja, daar zijn we al aan begonnen. Ludwig, maybe?
Yeah, I thought this was correct.
Actually, it's not
I think.
correct. I'm sorry. Let me see. It should be, zijn jullie al aan je huiswerk begonnen? And the R in part A should not be there.
Yeah, so plausibly there is like one really weird stretch of the of the sentence here where it could be correct, where R here is an
yeah, it refers
adverb of place,
place.
where so it means have you already started your homework there? So maybe your mom is calling you when you went to the library or something. Or, hey, did you start doing your homework there already? So it could, in that sense, if you took it like that, then it could be correct. But otherwise, that error does not.
Yeah.
Belong.
Normally, probably wouldn't. But yeah. But this is a hard one. So, but thank you. And then the last one is Peter. I'm sorry, my internet connection went a bit crazy. The last one is Peter snapt er niks meer van. And maybe Bijan can tell me if that's...
wait, maybe you can, Evelyn, she raised her hand.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I just had a question about that one. I was wondering for part B, could you also say, ja, we zijn er al aan begonnen as well?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, perfect.
And how would you choose between the two, or is it kind of, it doesn't matter?
No, they're both correct, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. If you use daar, it's a bit more specific to the homework.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
We have started doing it already.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Very good.
Sorry. Okay, so the 10th one was Peter snapt er niks meer van. And maybe Bijan could tell me if he thinks that's correct or not.
I originally wrote Peter snapt niks meer ervan, but now, based off of what was said in number 1, maybe it is instead correct as it is.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's correct. Yeah. Well, thank you. Good one.
Oh, Ari,
Okay.
you have a question?
Yeah, oh, sorry.
Yes. Wat is de antwoord van 5?
5 is... So het zijn nog vragen
Oh, I missed
R.
that one. I'm sorry.
But the R goes at the start. So het zijn er nog vragen.
Okay.
Do you know what it means, Ari?
Are there any questions?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Great. Okay, so that was the oefening. Does anyone else have questions about this oefening? If not, then we'll just go to the homework of the homework that you guys did from lesson 17.
Maybe we could do every other question here.
Okay, yeah, of course. So you have to translate the following sentences into Dutch. Nothing beats a glass of wine in the evening. Maybe
maybe we could start with this one because it's kind of difficult.
Which one?
Maybe we could do this one.
Oh, myself.
Yeah. And then the next, yeah. So nothing beats a glass of wine in the evening. So beats here is kind of in a specific context, like it's better than, I guess. And in Dutch you would translate this as gaat niet, and it should be an S. Boven een, ja, either gaat niets boven 's avonds een glas wijn drinken, or gaat niets boven een glas wijn in de avond. The latter is more in line with the English translation. And this is, I guess, more of a standard, maybe more how you would say that in Dutch. Gaat niets boven een glas wijn in de avond. I guess that's better. Gaat niets boven een glas wijn in de avond, ja. All right. Yeah, maybe we could do this one for someone.
Okay. Yannick, maybe you can tell me how to translate this?
We have er ruikt naar benzine, but we weren't sure if that's right.
Almost, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Or
okay, so the eats is okay.
Yeah, and then eats refers to the something.
Yeah, we put that at first in the first section and then didn't have an air, but then we thought, okay, maybe it's replacing the air.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. But
you can also say iets ruikt naar benzine.
Okay, yeah, that's what we had first, but then we
realized
but
that's indeed then an specific subject. So you would put er then in front.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
right.
Next one. Will I just say this one, Thomas? Okay. So, ja, hebben de muizen ervan gegeten? Ja.
Great setting.
And then maybe Alice can do the next one.
Ja. Er is geen... I don't know actually what attention is. What was the translation?
Aandacht.
Aandacht is the translation, yeah.
Okay. Er is geen aandacht aan het. I don't know if it's right, probably not.
You're close, I think. Ja. Mensen besteden er geen aandacht aan, or er wordt geen aandacht aan besteed.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you could also pay attention to. You could also translate that as letten op. So mensen letten er niet op, or er wordt niet op gelet. Yeah. It is a bit weird here that mensen is not doesn't get replaced with er. You would I guess because the sentence construction. Oh no, mensen er besteden er geen aandacht aan. There's the er. Okay, never mind.
But it's the same as with the er is er eenjarig. I feel like. mensen besteden er, or er is er.
Er wordt geen, yeah, you could also say er wordt geen aandacht aan besteed door mensen.
Yeah.
That's, I guess, the most faithful one. Reconstruction.
Yeah, I agree.
Can I ask a question? This is Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
I did one, but they like tried to cheat and flip it around. Can you say niemand let erop? Or does that not make sense?
Count that, yeah. That's it conveys the same meaning.
Okay, but in Dutch it makes sense. It's not nonsense.
No, indeed. So normally, if there niemand in the sentence, then you would have er as first, indeed. But because there's already an er, you usually don't do two ers. So indeed, you can start with niemand, and that indeed conveys the same meaning. No one pays attention to it. I think
So just 3 words. Niemand let erop.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Perfect.
Very good.
And then the last one is how many do you have? And maybe Evelien can give the answer for that.
Is it hoeveel heb je ervan?
Perfect.
Perfect.
Really nice. Okay, and then we have the second oefening, in which you have to translate it to English. Nu heb ik er genoeg van, is the first one. I will just say now I've had enough. Sorry
to interrupt.
Oh, good.
Do you spell hoeveel with separate hoeveel, or is it together? Hoeveel?
It's together, right?
Yes. Yeah. You would put them together.
Okay.
I put a space there. If you put a space there, people. Yeah, it's not like terribly wrong or anything, but it's usually one word.
Oh, both are fine then. Okay, thank you.
Hey, may I ask you a question? It's also about this fifth one. She said, hoeveel heb je ervan? Can I say hoeveel heb je er? Or it's not correct?
Indeed. Oh. Yes, as you can see, the van is in brackets, so it's optional. You could also just say hoeveel heb je er?
Okay, dankjewel.
All right.
Okay. So the first one, nu heb ik er genoeg van, translates to, I would say, now I've had enough, but I've had enough of it now. Okay, yeah.
A bit of an awkward translation.
Yeah.
I think yours is better.
Yeah. And then the next one is, er is veel regen gevallen. Maybe Thomas can answer that one. Or not?
You literally meant me. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Er is veel regen gevallen. Yeah. A lot of rain has fallen. Something like that. It rained a lot.
Yeah.
It rained a lot. A lot of rain has fallen.
Perfect. Okay, and then maybe Elisa can do the next one. Elisa?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't turn off the mic.
Go for it.
But the people walk around it.
Yeah. Perfect. Nice one. And then maybe Ada Feline can do the next one.
Yeah, sure. And thank you for letting me in again.
No problem.
So, something seems to be going wrong.
Perfect.
Perfect. Really good. And then the final one, maybe Veronica can tell me.
Yeah. I think it's like it doesn't come to an end.
Yeah. There's no end inside. Yeah.
There's no end to it.
Yeah, that's what I would say probably. Yeah. Yeah, perfect. Really good job, guys. You're really getting the hang of air, which is actually really difficult, I feel like, but you're doing a great job. Okay.
Yeah, so there is bonus homework. We can discuss that in the break if you want. But,
yeah, it's not part of the slides, but we can go through it in the break.
Yeah.
Then we have the werkwoord van de week. Oh, I think I forgot to change the werkwoord itself.
Yeah.
It's
That doesn't matter.
It's spreken, which translates to speaking or talking. En de tegenwoordige tijd is ik spreek, jij, je spreekt, hij, zij, het spreekt, wij spreken, jullie spreken en zij spreken. En dan de verleden tijd is ik sprak, jij, je sprak, hij, zij of het sprak, wij spraken, jullie spraken en zij spraken. En het voltooid deelwoord is ik heb gesproken, jij hebt gesproken, hij, zij, het heeft gesproken, wij hebben gesproken en jullie, zij hebben gesproken.
Yes. Maybe a good example of this to learn is to say I speak a little bit of Dutch. Ik spreek een beetje Nederlands.
Ja.
Which you now do. I think.
Which you all do, guys. Perfect. Oh yeah. Then the next one. So this class is about politiek. So we thought it'd be a good idea to introduce you guys a bit to what politics entails in the Netherlands. So I'm just gonna do a real quick explanation of it. So what you see here is our king. The Netherlands is a kingdom. That means that the king is the head of state. The king has no actual power, but the signature of both the king and ministers is required to enact laws and decisions. But eventually, the ministers are responsible. And the position of the king and succession are regulated in the constitution. And this is why the Netherlands is called a constitutional monarchy. Yeah, and his name is Willem-Alexander van Oranje-Nassau, but we call him Willem, or some people say Willy.
Yeah, Willy. Koning Willy.
Koning Willy. And then the next slide, please. Yeah. So I hope you can all see this, but the Netherlands is also a parliamentary democracy. This means that people elect representatives for parliament. And the national government of the Netherlands is based in The Hague, as most of you hopefully know. But every province and every municipality in the Netherlands also has its own administration. The residents of the municipalities are allowed to vote on the municipal council. And the municipal council makes decisions that must be carried out within the municipalities. And then you also have aldermen, which implement the decision of the municipal council. You see him, the burgemeester, that's the alderman.
The mayor, I guess.
The mayor, yeah. And the mayor is the chairman of the municipal council and the council of mayors, but he's not actually in charge because the council itself decides. Then you also have the provincial states, provinciale staten, and they represent the citizens of the province. And we have elections every 4 years. This council makes decisions within the province. And then you have de gedeputeerde staten en de commissaris van de koning in this case. And they ensure that decisions are being implemented. Each province therefore has its own administration. And then if you go to the national government, it's in Den Haag, as I said. The ministers and states secretary together form the cabinet. And they come up with plans for the country. But they cannot just carry out the plans. First, the parliament and senate must agree to it. And the parliament is elected by the citizens. And the senate is selected by the provinciale staten. And once the laws are approved, the ministers take care of the implementation of it. And then apart from all this, we also have a parliamentary representation and administration in the European Union, which we are part of. So the Netherlands must also comply with rules that are made on that level. So that's how it kind of works. And then the next slide, we see, yes, perfect, thank you. We made this ourselves, but this shows the main political parties that we have in Netherlands and in parliament. Let me see. VVD is actually the biggest one, and the how do you say? Oh yeah, that's him. Mark Rutte. He's our minister president. And then he is actually, I don't know what's the rule, Thomas. How many people do you have to have a majority? Do you know? Do you need to have a
76.
majority or like 2/3?
No, you need to have a majority, 76 seats.
Okay, so you cannot rule by yourself, even though VVD is the biggest party. So you have to make, you have to work together with other parties. And in this case, we have the kabinet, and those are the 4 parties that are in this coalition, I think. And VVD is one of them, and then Rutte is the minister-president. But the other parties that are included are CDA, which is this guy, and CDA is, as you see, it's a bit to the right and a bit conservative. Then you have D66. Waar is D66? Oh yeah, that's actually one of the more progressive parties that we have. Also a bit to the right. And we have ChristenUnie, which is a Christian-based or valued party. And they are a bit more conservative. And those 4, they make up the cabinet. And we also have other parties. Maybe you've heard of Geert Wilders, for example. He's of PVV, Partij voor de Vrijheid. They're mainly known because they are quite anti-Islamic. And they make quite some headlines with it, unfortunately. And also a good one to know is GroenLinks, Jesse Klaver. GroenLinks is actually quite popular with students, and it's pretty progressive and to the left, and they have a quite strong climate program. There are many more. Maybe a good one to name is hoe heet deze guy? From FVD, Forum voor Democratie.
Thierry Baudet.
Jerry, of course, Jerry.
Yeah.
He's getting quite some attention as well. It's actually, I feel like a bit of a competitor with PVV from Geert Wilders. They have a bit of the same values, and they're actually getting quite some people to vote for them recently. So
so this is the seat distribution in the in the second chamber, or the parliament. But in the first chamber, the Senate, they're the biggest. They have 14 seats of the 80. So this was, they are very new. They were started in 2017 or something, but in like 2 years ago, we voted for the Senate. Or we voted for the Provinciale Staten, which also determines the Senate. It's a bit complicated. And they got the most votes. They have only 2 here, but they're a lot bigger.
Yeah, exactly. And I also like to point out that the PVV, dus the party of Geert Wilders, is actually the second biggest party from last elections, and now they're quite Thomas taught me that before the elections they get a lot of people to vote for them for some reason. But as you can see, it's the second biggest party, but they're actually not in the cabinet because other parties are not willing to work together with them because of their points of view. So you can really see that in the Netherlands, it's quite important to be able to work together because you're not going to do it by yourself, even if you have a lot of people that vote for you. So yeah. I don't know. Anything else you think?
Also, maybe, interesting to note is, unlike, for instance, the UK or the US, the seats in Parliament are just decided by popular vote. So it's just a percentage of how much votes you get. If you get, so the maximum is 150, so you get 10% of the votes, you get 15 seats. And there's no minimum amount of votes you have to have to get a seat, in fact. Which is kind of different. I think in Germany you have to have at least like some kind of like 5% maybe of the votes to get at least the amount of seats. But in the Netherlands you can have one, just one 150th of a whatever.
That's so weird. Yeah. Okay. Are there any questions?
Maybe one thing I would like to say is, what do the acronyms stand for? Because I always hate that people just tell me acronyms that I don't know. So VVD stands for Volkspartij voor Vrijheid en Democratie. So People's Party for Freedom and Democracy. The PVV stands, as Eva already said, is Partij voor de Vrijheid, the Party for the Freedom. CDA stands for Christen Democratisch Appel, so Christian Democratic Appel. I don't really know what it is.
Yeah.
They're vaguely Christian. D66 just stands for Democrats 66. I think they were founded in 66. GroenLinks means green left. Kind of straightforward. SP is the Socialist Party. The PvdA is the Partij voor de Arbeid, the Labour Party. The CU is Christian Union. The PVDD is the Partij voor de Dieren, so the Party for the Animals. SGP is the Staatsgereformeerde Partij, so the Reformist Party. So they're like really Christian.
Like Christian.
Denk just stands for Denk. I don't really think. They're like Turkish party. I'm not really sure exactly what I don't really follow them. 50 plus is 50 plus. It's like for old people. This party is a mess. This guy is he quit this party and started a new party and then got kicked out of the new party. Yeah, no one likes working with him apparently. FVD stands for Forum voor Democratie, so Forum for Democracy. That's it. And then there are some people who split off their party and then formed their own one-man seat.
Yeah.
Oh, a fun thing to note about the PVV, Geert Wilders is actually the sole member of that party. Even though they have 20 seats, he is the only member, and he just gives the seats to other people, but they don't per se have a say in, or like formally they don't per se have a say in the party structure, which is interesting choice.
One-man show.
Yeah, just a question. This Wilders, he was the guy who organized a kind of demonstration where he asked people if they like more or less Moroccans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's him.
Oh.
That actually comes up in the exercise one.
That's one of the questions.
Okay.
And they actually sued him for it, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, if they.
No, I think they found him guilty of.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what it is, but they didn't like punish him for anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, controversial person at the least.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it. A brief tour of Dutch politics. Do you have any questions? Okay, cool. Then we will move on.
Wait. Sorry, I was slow in getting the thing. I do have a question. So the next election is in March?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, but it's just the parliament. It's not the senators.
Yeah, no, this is just for parliament. We had senators 2 years ago, so that's.
And is it a short campaign?
Yeah, they I think they're now starting to campaign approximately. I've
like
seen a few
officially, or is like in France? There's a set amount of time that you can campaign.
There is indeed a set amount of time. I think there is even a set budget you can use for your campaigning. So it's not like in the US where you had I don't know what that guy was who spent $500 million on campaigning. Something bird. Yeah, no, you can't do that here. I don't, and I think you also get like every party gets a spot on the public news station for a couple things. Notably, again, Wilders, his spot last election was just the word Islam with blood dripping from it. Very tasteful. For 2 minutes. Yeah. All right. Yes. On that note, let's go to some adjectives. Fun. I can't tell what the time is.
It's 10:11.
10:11, super. Oké, dan zijn we toch op schema. Okay, so bijvoeglijke naamwoorden. We already talked, you supposedly know, but we will go into comparatives. So it's useful, which are adjectives, of course. So it's good to recap this. You can place them in 2 places. After the article or before the noun. De mooie stoel, een mooie stoel. The beautiful chair, een beautiful chair. Or in combination with is. So this is so the stoel is mooi, the chair is beautiful. Call this the I don't know what you call this. This is the predicative way of using it. So if I use that word, I shouldn't use that word, but if I do it, I refer to using it with is. So something is nice. or just the nice chair is nice. Beautiful. Again, how to make it. If it's after the or head, you add an E after the word. Easy. If it's after an, you add an E if it's a the word, but you don't add one if it's a het word. So, een mooie stoel, a beautiful chair, but een mooi boek, not een mooie boek. So, a beautiful book. And after is, you don't add an E. So, de stoel is mooi, het boek is mooi. Doable, I think you know this. Again, you need to keep in mind Dutch spelling rules. It works just like plurals. If you add an E after a word, make sure if there's two vowels that are the same, we only need one. Dutch, we like to keep the words as short as possible. So it becomes de grote stoel instead of de grote stoel. And if it has one vowel, dik means thick. Het dikke boek, we want to say. But if you have it like this, you would spell it like het dikke boek, which is not the same sound. So het dikke boek. And as you know, if it ends on an S, it becomes a Z. If it ends on an F, it becomes a V. Een lieve man, a nice, sweet man. And it's a lieve man with a V. And same here with an S. A wise woman, not wijze vrouw, but wijze vrouw. All right. Oh, yeah, and for materials, you just add EN at the end. So if it's wood, fence, just like in English, you don't say well, you could say a wood fence, I guess. That sounds a bit weird. But you would say a wooden fence. Like het houten hek, no, het houten hek or een houten hek. And it doesn't matter if it's a de or het word, it's just always en. Except if it's like after is, then you don't say het hek. Well, you could say het hek is houten, the fence is wooden, but you would probably say het hek is van hout. It's made of wood. Okay, those are adjectives. Now, let's make it more interesting. Trappen voor vergelijking in Dutch, the stairs of comparison. So we have the first one, we just talked about this, the stellende trap, the stating, what's a singular, not stair, but whatever. The step, yes. The stating step. So we just state whatever. You can say it predicatively again. He is strong, a strong man, a strong story, or tall story, you would say in English, or the strong man, or the tall story. We just got over this. This is important because we're going to compare things with each other, comparatives. And if you want to make an argument, it's useful to know this. If you want to compare things and say they are the same in an quality, you can say that in two ways. You can say, hij is even sterk als zij. And so even and als. So he is just as strong as she is. Or you can use net zo. So even or net zo. Hij is net zo knap als zij. He is just as handsome as she is. But in both cases you use als. So if you see als, it's always, no, it's not always the case, but in a comparative sense, it means they are just the same. It means as here. Als can also mean if in other cases, but not in this case. We'll get to that in the second half of this lecture. So here are some examples. Dit is een mooie tafel. You already know this. This is een mooie tafel. Warm. Het is vandaag gisteren. So if we want to say it is just as warm today as it was yesterday, we could say het is vandaag net zo warm als gisteren. Or het is vandaag even warm als gisteren. Ik ben mijn jas vergeten. Ik ben mijn dikke jas vergeten. En wat een goed idee. Yeah, these are just examples of the first one. But this is the most important thing to know. So just as is net zoals or even als. Okay? Then the comparative, the enlarging step. So you make something bigger. How do you do this? You just add ER to the end, just like in English. The only thing you have to take keep in mind is that you also add the E when necessary. So here in the predicative form, we don't add an E, of course. Zij is sterker, she is stronger. But if it's a de word, like vrouw, then you do add an E. So een sterkere vrouw, a stronger woman. If it's a het word, you don't add the E here. So it's just a stronger story, a taller story. If it's a de or het, then it's always with an E, right? De sterkere man, het sterkere verhaal. The stronger man, the taller story. Again, pay attention to the spelling. Groot becomes groter. You again drop the O. Snel becomes sneller, not sneller. You know this. Oh. And how do you use this? We use the, I'm not really sure what you call this. Miscellaneous word, I will just call it. Dan. Dan means than with an A. Piet is sterker dan Jan. Piet is stronger than Jan. That's it. Very easy. There's not really another word you can use. I will skip this. But I will just note, so this is the this is a song about Utrecht. And in common language or colloquial language, a lot of Dutch people, instead of saying something is or than something else, they will say something is something or as that. So you use als instead of dan. Here the sentence is: er is geen mooier plekje als Utrecht, mijn stad, als Utrecht, mijn stad. So there isn't a nicer place as Utrecht, my city, as Utrecht, my city. So it's technically not correct, but you hear it a lot. It hasn't become so widely used as to become correct again. But not a lot of people blink an eye if you use als here. But you know to use dan. Pieter is sterker than Jan. Oh no. I pressed the wrong button. We'll get back. Yes. Then, die overtreffende stap, the exceptional step, yes, something like that. How to make it is you add st at the end. So similar to English, which you also add st, but usually est. In Dutch, it's just st, and then an e after it in case, again, after de or het or een with a de word. So often it's really uncommon to see the superlative, overtreffende trap, in combination with een. You almost never see it, because usually if something is the somethingest, right, it's a definite thing. There's not like, oh yeah, one of the best things, right? No, it's like the best thing. So you rarely see this. This is a sort of construed example. Alleraardigst means sort of like something like very nice. And this is just how the word looks. It's not, there's not an alleraardig is not a word, or alleraardiger. Alleraardigst is just like a one word that works like this. But in other cases, you can't, for example, say een sterkste man. Well, that's actually one of you can say, like strongest man competitions. So then you could maybe refer to it. But in general, there's no een and then a superlative. It is with de or het. So de sterkste man, the strongest man, or het sterkste verhaal, the tallest story. And here you don't really have to worry that much about the spelling because there's 2 syllables here, and that takes care of most of the things. Yes. Okay. That's just kind of the basic rules. So in English, there's a lot of if this word is longer than 2 syllables, then mostly there's some 3-syllable words. I think that's not the case, but most of them, if you want to do the comparative, the vergrotende trap, you say instead of just adding er to the end, it becomes complicated, and you say, oh no, it's more than something. So timid in English, this word means timid. In Dutch, it's timid, timide, or timider, and meest timide. But in English, you wouldn't say timider. You would say more timid than someone else. But in Dutch, in the comparative, you never do that. It's always with er at the end. But with the superlative, you do often do that. And where exactly the boundary is of when you just add this st at the end and when you use meest, which means most, is a bit unclear. In general, it's when it ends on like a T or a D or an S, because then it gets weird because you add st at the end, right? So timid, timide, it would become timidest, and then you have the D pretty close to an S and a T, and that sounds weird. Meest logisch, yeah, that if you add st here, then most logischst, that doesn't really work. And enthusiast ends on st, so then it would become enthusiast, which I think could work. If you would say enthusiasts, I would get what you mean. I wouldn't, but it's a bit of a mouthful, to say the least. So yeah, it's never wrong to use meest something. So use that when you think, that's kind of weird. So timide, logisch, enthousiast. Timid, logical, enthusiastic. Then, just like in English, there are some irregular ones. Not a lot though. Like in English, good, better, best. In Dutch is goed, beter, best. And this one is pretty interesting because also a lot of Dutch people don't associate these with each other that much, but they do work together. And it's kind of difficult to translate again. Graag means like would like to or with pleasure, something like that. And would like to more, or I would really prefer the most or something. I like the most, something like that. So graag, liever, liefst. Again, much more most, or many more most. In Dutch, we don't make a difference between uncountable or countable things. So veel, meer, meest. And same with few or little. So it's just both weinig. Weinig, minder, minst. A little or few, less, least. Okay, that's it. Hope that made sense. To practice, could you please do exercise 1, which is about this, where you have to fill in the correct adjective. Yeah, the comparative. And please, if you can, could you also try to translate it? I will just ask you to do it. And again, I need to check the time. Could someone tell me the time? I do not know it.
Het is 53, 2053.
53, hè?
Gaat dat goed of gaat dat slecht?
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, okay, let's go to... No, you know what? Let's have a break now until the full hour. Until 7. Sorry, it's a bit short, but there's a lot to cover this week. And then when we go back, we can do this exercise. Okay, cool. While you're chilling, or maybe later, could you please fill out a survey that we made? It's just a few questions about, I put it in the chat now, about how you think the course is going, what do you think could be improved, and especially important is the question at the end, what would you still like to see? Because it's not the end of the course yet, we can still accommodate a bit more. So if you answer any question with a lot of effort, it's that one of the last. It says that it's beginner's course question, but that doesn't really matter. So just ignore that. And thank you very much. And then we shall see you back here at the hour at 7. Okay? Thank you.